Hi guys, today is Sunday, July 21st of 2024. I think the last time that I checked in with you guys was I had filmed a rant video on, I think it was Tuesday of this week, Monday or Tuesday, and I'm not going to use it. I think I will insert some clips of that video. I think that's how I'll do this. I'll insert some clips of that video because it was while I was driving. It does kind of talk about where I was and how I was feeling, which is all legitimate. So I'll include that. Briefly, what it was about was, I'll have to be creative to see how to do this, but my loan at the time was in underwriting, meaning the people who make the decision at the finance company that you choose to give you the loan to buy the house were reviewing it to determine if I was going to be approved to use their resources for the house. And when it's in underwriting, they could choose to deny you. A lot of times they ask for a lot of extra information. Throughout inserting clips and bits and pieces into this video, you'll see that it was basically them asking me to verify where they saw transactions that were a Zelle payment, and that was for the rent that I have been paying since I moved home. I moved home almost 9 months ago to my parents' house, and I just Zelle them my monthly rent to them, which is a really small amount of rent, minimal compared to what I was paying in New York, but it's fair. I work a full-time job and I should be, helping out with my fair share of things around the house, heat, hot water, gas, electricity, internet, that type of stuff. So they also had asked for, and I think the reason that I was so upset was they asked me to verify these Venmo send and receives that they saw. And the short story is the Venmos were to and from my siblings because I had purchased my mom's Mother's Day and birthday gift, and then they sent me their share of that. Regularly, you buy someone a gift from a group, one person makes the purchase, the other people send them, whatever their percentage of it was. And I think that's what pushed me over the edge, because I'm like, this is so dumb. It's not like this gift was $10,000. It was very small. It was her flowers and then the gift that we got. So it's a very small amount of send and receive Venmo that they saw, and that just really ticked me off. And I'm like, that's what's holding up my loan approval, because you guys want to verify a Mother's Day purchase and rent. I don't even know where I am, but let's just talk and drive. So here's where we are and here's what we are doing. Today is Tuesday, July 16th of 2024. The biggest thing that has transpired so far is that when you are buying a house, obviously you're constantly sending over your bank statements and all of that. And the thing that gave me a nervous breakdown today was that they had asked for because now we're in July, we're in mid-July, so they asked for my June bank statements. So I sent that over, which they've had my statements from March onward, I think March or April onward. And you guys know that I moved home from my parents' house in November of last year, and I do pay my parents' rent. It's minimal, it's the smallest amount of rent, really, just it's really my portion of the overhead for utilities is really what I pay, and I pay it every month. I just send it to my mom via Zelle. So the loan officer sent me an email asking for a letter, a written explanation that's signed and dated, explaining what these Zelle payments are. And I'm like, what? First of all, yeah, sure. It says it, I put in the memo every month, June rent, July rent, August rent. It says that. And I do that just for my own peace of mind, to keep track of what I'm looking at when I look at my bank statements. But also, maybe it doesn't show for them when they're looking at it. Maybe I'm the only one that can see the memo. But the fact that they were asking for a signed and dated written explanation of what that was frustrating. I do understand. They just want to make sure you don't have another monthly obligation that's a debt. Or like, let's say it was a car payment, like it's the same amount every month, so it looks like it's a reoccurring debt payment. Like, okay, that makes sense. But then like they also asked for an explanation of Venmo. So like Mother's Day is in May, and then my mom's birthday is in May. I have 2 siblings, and I'm always the one that like reminds everyone, like, oh, it's Mother's Day, it's Father's Day, it's their anniversary. They never do the thinking about this. It's always me, like months in advance, like trying to plan, like, oh, you know, what restaurant will we reserve for brunch? I always do it. My siblings never help me. They do help financially, which is what I'm getting to, but they never do the brainstorm. So in May, it was my mom's birthday and also Mother's Day, and I came up with whatever we were gonna do for Mother's Day. Like, I made the reservations, I ordered the flowers, I got the gift, and then I also like got the gift for my mom's birthday. My siblings were like, okay, hey, how much did you pay? Let us Venmo you like whatever we owe. And so they wanted an explanation of what that was. I was like, really? Okay, I can send that. So I had to like write a letter about what the Venmo was. Like, they just wanted to know like what those Venmo payments were that went into my account. And I was like, yeah, sure, I have no problem with telling you that. What else? Like, these are small payments. I think it was like 2 times like the Mother's Day flowers that were ordered, and then also the gift, because we got her a gift, and like they wanted to know what that was. And I'm like, sure. Anyways, so I had sent the last of that information on Tuesday, which I think was July 16th. So the week prior, on July 10th, I had to secure a homeowner's insurance. So you will have to secure homeowner's insurance when you buy a house. Like, you have to have it secured in order to be cleared to close on the house. So let's say you found the house on July 1st, you want to close on August 1st, you would find your homeowner insurance company. You know, you would browse and search for the best one. I ended up bundling mine with the company I'm already paying for my car insurance, because you can bundle and save. So you can choose to do that. That's what I chose to do. I have been with my car insurance company for 12 years now. I get a ton of perks because of that. And so I said, hey, I need a homeowner's insurance policy for you. They were great. It was like the smoothest process, really. And they were like, well, we do this all the time. When are you going to close? I gave them the potential closing date. And they said, all right, your policy will be effective as of that date. So let's just say it's August 1st. You will be effective with your homeowner's insurance. That's when you'll start paying. And they even knew, they're like, who's your loan officer, so that we can send it? We're pretty sure you have to give them that information to close. And I said, oh yeah. So the agent sent me an email with my new policy for homeowners insurance with me, and my loan officer CC'd on it so that she could have that information and she could check it off her list of things that are no longer needed for her to close because she already has it. That was July 10th. How come, like, the day after I did the rant, I thought I was done sending stuff, and then on Thursday, which was July 18th, Thursday was July 18th, after she told me all she needed was to confirm, and this is not for her, she's not the problem. I know that the underwriters are coming back to her saying, oh, we need this now from her. So she told me the last thing the underwriter needs now is, they needed, when I bundled my homeowner's insurance, the agent used a P.O. box, and he needed to correct the address, because it's not that P.O. box, it's a different address. And then he needed to show both types of my coverage for both parts of my loan. And so he just needed to like notate that and send it to her. Now, I will say she was emailing him with me CC'd on, saying, hey, could you update this? Hey, could you update this? It took him some time to reply, but he did reply on the same day. And he said, I actually just like reserve the policy. If you need more changes to it, like more information, you have to go through, and he put the telephone number, like you have to call this number, who are the people who like manage the policy now that it's been created, and they have to do it. Well, I don't think she liked that answer. Well, okay, let me say, when I saw that he said that, I sent an email back to both of them saying, hey, should I be doing anything in this? Because I just see the emails coming in, but they're not saying, hey, home buyer, you need to go do this. And neither of them are saying that they're going to resolve it. So I just said, hey, should I be doing anything? I think the answer was no, that I shouldn't. But my loan officer was like, well, I'm not sure why he used the wrong address. And I'm not sure why he gave me a telephone number to figure this out instead of just like doing it, which I'm summarizing what I could tell she was verbalizing. In her email, she said to me, like, this is the last thing that we need to close. So I just called the number myself, and I had to wait for a while, and I got an agent, and I was like, hey, I don't understand any of this stuff, but this is what my loan officer says I need to close, and could you fix this address, and could you like specify these loan details? Because what was needed is just a specification of the loan details and then the address to be corrected. That person was like, yeah, sure. And I said, and could you go a step further, and when you correct it, could you email me with the proof of the corrections and also CC my loan officer so she gets it in real time, like immediately? And he's like, yeah, sure. It's gonna take me about 15 minutes, but I can do it. And I was like, awesome. So it ended up being like at the close of the business day on Thursday when that finally got done, but he did it in exactly 15 minutes. He sent everything over, and my loan officer got it right away. I didn't hear anything from her, and I was like, yeah, because it's the end of the day. So then Friday, July 19th rolls around, and I'm like, okay, I'm sure, because usually it's about noon when I start hearing from my loan officer throughout the way in this process. Don't hear anything, and finally get a request around 2 p.m. to re-sign the appraisal, which I did, and I'm like, all right, that's probably what they were waiting on. I signed it right away as soon as it popped up, and then I'm like, okay, now what? And I didn't hear anything. And so then I started getting really nervous, because I'm like, if they have everything that they need from me to confirm this loan and they still haven't said anything, is that like not good news? And I panicked. So I get off of work at 4 usually. And usually I don't hear anything from my loan officers again after 4. If I'm going to hear anything, it's going to be the next day. And I didn't hear anything. And I started to panic. And my mom was there that day, and I said to her, I'm just really nervous because yesterday I had to scramble to submit this information. I was told that was the last of what is needed for the determination. And then at the last minute, they said that they needed a clarification from my homeowner's insurance about my policy. And I, was the one who initiated getting that done and sending it. And now that's it. And it's the end of the day, a whole day later, and I've heard nothing. And I was logging off of work, shutting down my computer, doing all of that, and my phone rings, and it's the loan officer. It's the supervisor of the loan officer that's been working on my loan. So her boss, my loan officer's boss. And she calls me and she says, you are cleared to close. And I was like, what? And if you don't know, and I'm pretty sure you might not, because I think most people watching this are first-time home buyers, that means that my loan is fully approved and I've been cleared to go ahead and close on the house. Like everything they need to know and do and sign and prove and review has been done. And guys, there's so much, and I'm going to do a whole nother video on this now that I've been through this process. But like, there's stuff with title companies and land surveying and the city and municipalities of the city you're purchasing in, because you're buying a plot of land and a house from the homeowner who purchased in the state of Florida, who now has to go through the state to like transfer the rights and the titles and ownership of this stuff over to you. So there's a lot, and there's no room for error. All of that is done now, and I didn't even understand that I was approved for the loan this whole time. It was clearing me to close, meaning they've checked with all these people and the powers that be to say like, yeah, no, we're good, like we are transferring all of the rights of this property, this land, and this house over to this person. So when I tell you that I was just like, wow. So that was Friday, end of day Friday, that they told me I was cleared to close. And I think there's still stuff I have to do. So I called my realtor right away. He was so happy, and he's like, congratulations, you are a homeowner now. And that made me so happy. I called my mom and dad right away. They're so happy. So from here, I'm still waiting to hear from here. When I did speak to my loan officer supervisor, she said to me, well, I said to her, well, just from here now on to closing, because my closing is scheduled for Friday, August 2nd. I'm waiting to hear what I need to do in between then. Like my realtor mentioned, the day of the closing, you will have to do a walkthrough on the property of the house to make sure everything is looking great and it's where it needs to be. And that day I will close, and I believe the following week is where I have to go and do all like the other tedious stuff, like meeting with the city to show, not the city, but I guess on a county level, I have to show that I'm the new owner. I need like water, lights, electricity, all of that stuff transferred over into my name. These are all the things. These are all the things. I'm here outside of Walgreens. I'm gonna show you because I need to pick up some toiletries and I need to grab a bite to eat, and it's 1:30 and I haven't had any coffee. So let me show you where I'm sitting outside. Okay, so here I am just sitting in my car outside of Walgreens, and I need to run in there and get some stuff. So yeah, that's it. I'm cleared to own this home now. I'm cleared to close on it. I'll officially be a homeowner as of August 2nd. I am so excited. I haven't told my boyfriend yet, he lives out of state, and I haven't told him yet because I want to surprise him. And I know he's so excited, and I keep mentioning things, like I keep almost giving it away. And he asks me like every day, have you like the other houses, or how's that going? And I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm trying to think of a cool way to tell my boyfriend when the time comes. Like I want to kind of trick him and surprise him. So we'll see. That's it for now. I will check in with you guys as we get closer to closing, and I'll keep you updated on what the process is like once you get a clear to close and then you get to the closing, because that's about a 2-week gap. I'm cleared to close now, but I don't close until 2 weeks from Friday, and I have no idea what happens now. So I'll keep you updated, and I will talk to you guys a little bit later.